The safe house was a luxury apartment in Buckhead, all marble and bulletproof glass and the kind of security that made Fort Knox look casual. Ava sat on the edge of a bathtub while Min-jae cleaned the glass cuts on her arm. His hands were gentle, practiced, like he'd done this before. He probably had. "This is going to sting," he warned, applying antiseptic. She didn't flinch. "I've had worse." "I know." His eyes met hers. 3 years ago, you had a scar on your shoulder, looked like a knife wound. You said you got it in an accident." I lied. "I know. I always knew." He wrapped gauze carefully. "I just didn't push because I thought you'd tell me when you were ready." I was never going to be ready. And now? Ava took a breath. This was the moment. Truth or more running. She was tired of running. 3 years ago in Seoul, I witnessed something I wasn't supposed to see, a deal between your organization and a group trafficking weapons through West Africa. I was translating for a supposed business meeting, except it wasn't business. It was illegal arms sales. Min-jae's voice went flat. "I know. I shut that operation down 6 months after you left." She blinked. "What? You think I didn't notice you disappeared right after that meeting? I'm not stupid, Ava. I put it together." He finished the bandage. "I just didn't know if you left because you were scared of what you saw or because you were scared of me." "Both," she admitted. "You were involved in things I couldn't understand. I thought if I stayed, I'd either get you killed or become complicit in whatever that world was." Min-jae sat back, studying her. "So you ran to protect me?" "Yes." "And now they've found you anyway?" "Yes." He stood, pacing the small bathroom. "The men at the warehouse, did you recognize them?" "No, but they knew about you, about us. They kept asking what you knew about their operations." "Which means someone connected you to me, realized you witnessed the deal, and assumed I used you to gather intelligence." Min-jae's jaw tightened. "They think you're a spy." "I'm a translator who is in the wrong place at the wrong time. In my world, those are the same thing." Ava stood on shaking legs. "I should leave Atlanta, disappear again. They're after me, not you. I won't let you—" "Stop." Min-jae turned to face her. "You're not running again. Not from this, not from me. You don't understand what you're—" "I understand perfectly." He stepped closer. 3 years ago, you walked away to protect me. Now, I'm staying to protect you. That's how this works." Tears burned her eyes. "This isn't your fight. You became my fight the moment you called me at 2 a.m. His voice softened. "I've spent 3 years wondering what I did wrong. Turns out I did everything right. You just loved me enough to leave." The word hung between them. Love. Past tense or present. Before she could ask, Min-jae's phone buzzed. He checked it, expression hardening. "What is it?" "They found our safe house location. We need to move. Now." Outside, tires screeched, glass shattered. The nightmare was just beginning. They escaped through a service elevator that dropped into underground parking. Min-jae moved like he'd planned this exact scenario, because he had. "Always have 3 exits," he'd told her once, back when she thought his paranoia was excessive. Now it was keeping them alive. Taewon waited with a nondescript Honda. "Sir, they hit the building with 12 men, military-grade weapons. This isn't a shakedown. It's an execution," Min-jae finished. "Who's coordinating?" "Working on it, but sir," Taewon glanced at Ava, "the fact they found our safe house this fast means someone's feeding them information, someone with access to our protocols." Min-jae's expression went deadly calm, the kind of calm that preceded violence. "You think we have a traitor. I think someone wants Ms. Martinez dead badly enough to compromise our entire Atlanta operation." Ava's stomach dropped. "I'm putting all of you in danger." "No." Min-jae's voice cut sharp. "Someone else is putting you in danger. We're just deciding how to respond." They drove through Atlanta's pre-dawn streets. Ava watched the city blur past, thinking about how she'd chosen this place specifically because it felt far from Seoul's shadows. Except shadows had infinite reach when you were connected to Park Min-jae. "The meeting 3 years ago," Min-jae said suddenly. "Who else was there?" Ava closed her eyes, remembering. "Your second in command, a man named Choi, 2 other Korean businessmen, and 3 men I didn't recognize, West African accents, expensive suits. Focus on the 3. Anything specific?" "One of them wore a ring, gold with a red stone. He kept tapping it on the table when negotiations got tense." Min-jae pulled out his phone, typed rapidly, sent something. "That's enough. Taewon, contact our people in Lagos. I need a name." "On it." Ava leaned forward. "You really shut down the operation?" "The moment I realized what it was. Weapons trafficking isn't my business, never was. But someone in my organization thought they could use my name to legitimize it." Min-jae's jaw clenched. "I eliminated the problem." "Eliminated," you repeated. "You mean—" "I mean what I mean." They drove in silence after that, Ava processing the man beside her, capable of both tenderness and calculated violence, the contradiction that made her run 3 years ago. Except this time she couldn't run. This time running had brought the violence to her door. "Where are we going?" she asked finally. Min-jae smiled grimly. "Somewhere they'll never look. My mother's house." Min-jae's mother lived in a modest suburb 30 minutes outside Atlanta. The house was small, painted yellow, with a garden that looked like it belonged in a magazine. Nothing about it screamed Mafia safe house, which was exactly the point. "Your mother lives in Atlanta?" Ava asked as they pulled up.
"Retired here 5 years ago. Hated Seoul's winters." Min-jae helped her out of the car. "She doesn't know what I do. Thinks I'm in international business consulting." Technically true. Technically. The front door opened before they knocked. A small Korean woman in her 60s stood there, already frowning at Min-jae. "You look terrible. When did you last sleep?" Then her eyes found Ava. "And who is this?" "Yama, this is Ava Martinez. We need somewhere to stay. Just for a day or 2. His mother's expression shifted through surprise, calculation, and finally landing on something like triumph. "The girl from Seoul. The one you wouldn't talk about." Min-jae's ears went slightly pink. "Can we come in?" Of course, of course." She ushered them inside, already moving toward the kitchen. "You're both too thin. I'll make food. You, Ava, yes, sit. Rest. You look exhausted." Ava found herself gently pushed onto a couch while Min-jae's mother bustled around, asking questions without waiting for answers. "How long have you known my son? Are you dating? Why do you look scared? Min-jae, what have you done?" "Yama, please. Don't please me. I'm your mother. I know when you're in trouble." She paused, really looking at them both. "This is serious, isn't it?" Min-jae's expression softened. "Yes, but I'm handling it. By bringing danger to my door? By keeping someone I care about safe." His mother studied Ava with sharp eyes that missed nothing. Then she nodded, apparently satisfied. "Okay, you stay. I'll make the guest room ready." But Min-jae, her voice hardened. "Whatever this is, you fix it. This girl deserves better than running." After she left, Ava turned to Min-jae. "She doesn't know, does she? What you really do?" "No. And she never will if I can help it." He sat beside her, suddenly looking exhausted. "Some people deserve to be protected from the truth. Is that what you were doing with me? Protecting me?" "I was trying to. Failed spectacularly." Ava reached for his hand. His fingers closed around hers immediately. "You came for me. At 2 a.m., across an ocean, knowing it could be a trap. That's not failure. You called. I couldn't do anything else." They sat in silence, hands linked, in his mother's cheerful living room that smelled like jasmine tea and home-cooked meals. It felt surreal, hiding from assassins in suburban normalcy. But Ava realized this was Min-jae's other world. The one he kept separate from blood and business. The soft parts he protected fiercely. She'd misjudged him 3 years ago. Thought he was only violence. Turned out, he was violence wrapped around something infinitely more fragile. "Your phone's buzzing," Ava said. Min-jae checked it. His expression went cold. "They found the body at the warehouse." "The man we killed?" He's connected to the Adeyemi family in Lagos. Should I know that name? Only if you follow West African organized crime. Minjae stood. They're one of the largest trafficking networks in the continent. Weapons, people, drugs. If they're involved, this is bigger than I thought. How much bigger? He looked at her, and in his eyes she saw calculation and concern. Big enough that hiding won't work. We need to go on offense. Meaning what? Meaning I make them more afraid of me than I am of them. The dragon was waking up. And Ava was about to see exactly how far Park Minjae would go to protect what was his. Minjae made 3 phone calls from his mother's garden, speaking rapid Korean that Ava only partially understood. She watched from the window as he paced between rose bushes, his posture shifting from businessman to something harder. More dangerous. When he came back inside, his face was set. I'm flying to Lagos tomorrow. Ava's heart stopped. What? No. That's insane. The Adeyemi family thinks they can chase you across continents without consequences. I'm going to correct that assumption. By walking into their territory alone? Not alone. I have contacts. People who owe me favors. Minjae crossed to her. This ends when they understand that touching you means war. And I need to deliver that message in person. Or you could just let me disappear. Change my name, move somewhere remote. For how long, Ava? Another 3 years? 5? 10? His voice gentled. You've been running since Seoul. I'm offering you a chance to stop. By starting a war?
Thanks for watching episode 2. If you're ready for what happens next, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Episode 3 is coming soon.